Good evening, everyone. This is Joni. I thought I'd come on tonight and do a tutorial on an eye makeup look. I did the rest of my face, and I saw this on sale recently. It's called Make Magic Happen by Tarte, and it was in a reasonable price range. I think it was like $20. So the packaging is so pretty. It's like a pink and gold, and I'm sorry, it's kind of shiny, very reflective. Um, but the inside of the palette is, look at how pretty that is. It's like the palettes are full up, like flush. Um, they're not kind of set back into the palette. And they're full. They're really full pans. So and this strikes me as, I mean, it is sort of warm tone, but I see a lot of cool tone in it, and that's really more of my taste. So I did prep my eyes with Milani eyeshadow primer, and I love the job that this does. And I'm just going to um, put on a little bit of this color, and that's just sort of my base color, and it sort of sets the primer. And I find a big difference with using primer and not in how long my shadows last. So that's a really important step for me. Um, for my transition shade, I think I would like to start off with this. The camera's not picking it up all that well. It's like almost a blush shade. So I'm going to, and this is a Real Techniques brush, and I just love this one. I believe this one came in a set of two, maybe. I think they came like this, and they were like $7 or $8. But those are really go-to brushes for me. So I'm gonna put, it's a nice light color, and I'm gonna put the iPad rather than the windshield wiper motion, just because my eyelids are kind of crepey and they are hooded. So the windshield wiper motion doesn't work for me anymore. I kind of pat it in so that I don't miss any spots kind of in the groove of my eye, and that works well for me. But if the windshield wiper motion works for you, you go right ahead and stay with what works for you. This is a very pale shade, so I don't know if I'll stay with this or I'll go a little bit darker. This palette has shimmers, and it has matte colors, and not a big choice of mattes. So yeah, I think that's just a little bit, it doesn't show very well. So I'm gonna go back with this color. It's a taupey color, and I'm just gonna clean my brush off with this dry erase kind of thing. It's a dry cleaner. Um, and I'm going to go back over that same area with this kind of taupey lavender. This is just the perfect shade for me. I love this shade. The color payout is gotta say, not terrific. So I'm really having to go back and dip my brush a few times. But you know, I like just a subtle color because you know this is more of a cool tone eye. So you know, I'm not looking for anything super dark. So it kind of works well. So that's all done. And I'm going to go into um, the crease with this darker color here. And I'm using the Morphe M330 is the brush that I'm using. And I like the Morphe brushes. No, you know what? I'm going to use this color. I'm just worried that other one might be a little too dark, and I'm going to try and kind of angle my brush so it's up this way so that I'm not wearing that crease shade on my lid. I'm wearing it at my crease and just above. Because with hooded lids, that crease color can take over my whole lid. So I'm going to try the other eye, and same thing, kind of angle my brush up, coming down from this angle so as not to make my crease color all over my lid. And this is a pretty color. And like I said, if the windshield wiper motion works for you, you go right ahead and do that. It just doesn't work for me. So I think I got the crease and just above, still leaving some of that transition color so it almost sort of, it's like an ombre effect sort of. So I would like to go in and do the whole lid. Now for this, I am taking this brush by Real Techniques, and I am going to do this color here in the corner. It's kind of like, it almost, I don't know if it's a shimmer. It's a pink, like a blush. And I'm going to go over the whole lid with that color. But it almost looks like a duochrome. You know, like it's got a little bit of gold in it. Definitely it does. So it's like blush with a little bit of gold hue to it. I would like to go into that corner with something a little bit darker. So that's where I'm going to go in with this, sorry guys, with this shade. Taking the same brush, I just cleaned it off in that, and just, I'm going to do just the outer V in this, just to give a little bit more color. And then I think to give it some dimension, I may go into the center of the eye with one of the golds. This palette has such pretty colors in it. Like sometimes I wonder why some of the palettes go so low in price. I wonder, are they duds? You know, I kind of try to read the reviews to see. And sometimes I honestly don't know why. Okay, so there's a brighter gold here. Yeah, that's it. I'm going to go in with that in the very center of the lid. And it just gives the look some dimension. And it's still, yeah, there it is. And if you want, you can wet the brush if you want it to show up, you know, a little bit deeper. I don't want it to because I just like this, you know, very muted color look. So I'm happy with it. I am going to go back with the original color. I didn't add any more shadow onto it, just to soften up the edges at the top. Now you could, if you had, if you wanted to take from another palette, like a, you know, a shimmer to put on your brow bone. This palette doesn't come with it. Let's see if, no. I'm gonna leave it the way it is. I'm just gonna put on some eyeliner and some mascara, and I'll be right back and show you the finished look. Okay, so there you have it. There's the eye look. And it was just so easy, and the brushes and the palette did all the work for me. And I'm a cool tone gal. I like to wear cool tones in my clothing and in my makeup. So I do wear warm tones as well, but I feel like I look better in cool tones, and I think cool tones are having a comeback. So if you enjoyed this video, if you would give me a thumbs up, I would greatly appreciate it. And the palette comes in packaging. I'm just putting it back in the box. That looks like this. And it's still being sold in Ulta. And it is called Make Magic Happen by Tarts. And that is what I used to get this eye look today. That's what I have for you today, guys. I hope you're enjoying your weekend. And until next time, bye.